Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to the committee of 5th ICLLE 2022 International Conference on Language, Literature and Education to facilitate us in this conference. And a big thanks to my advisor, Dr. Yuli Tiarina MPD, that gave me contribution in finishing this article entitled A Comparative Study on the Implementation of Padlet and Jamboard Towards Student Motivation. I'm Mika Omati, graduate student of English Department, State University of Padang. Now we come to the introduction. According to ICLLE 2015, motivation is primarily seen as affecting the rate of learning that should be considered by the teacher. So motivation is recommended for enhancement and improvement of language learning. Nowadays, we know that it has become current phenomenon to use ICT for the improvements of learning, encouraging creativity and enhancing motivation. So technology offers a lot of new applications to improve the motivation, such as Padlet and Jamboard. So what is Padlet and Jamboard? Padlet is a free multimedia wall that allows interaction both between the student and the teacher and among students that facilitate whole class participation. Students can share their ideas through a virtual post, while Jamboard is a web-based whiteboard that allows learning interaction. It gives students a free and easily accessible platform that allows for more equitable participation than the conventional physical whiteboard or PowerPoint presentation. So here we come to the indicators of student motivation by ICLLE 2010. There are 4 indicators. The first one is attention. Attention refers to the extent to which the student curiosity is aroused or gained and sustained over the time, while relevance refers to the instruction is related to the personal careers, needs, or goals, and confidence refers to the student perceive of achieving success through personal efforts and control. And the last one is satisfaction. It refers to the student experience satisfying outcomes on their learning. So, it is important to compare this application for reason that similar application provides some function, so that the teacher can explore intensively the use of appropriate application which consider better and effective to use in the teaching learning activities. So the research questions is there any significant difference on student motivation in learning English between using Padlet and Jamboard at the 10th grade of SMA Negeri 3 Padang? Now we come to the method of the research. The research design. This study was characterized as an experimental study using comparative design, while the population and sample. The population was the grade 10 student of SMA Negeri 3 Padang, and the sample selected by using cluster random sampling, categorized as experimental class who taught by using Padlet and control class who taught by using Jamboard. And the instrumentation, I used the questionnaire of student motivation consisted of 26 items in the form of Likert scale, ranging from 1, strongly disagree, to 5, strongly agree. The questionnaire based on the theory of Keller. Now we move to the finding and discussion. Let's see the descriptive statistic after the treatment. Here is the table. After analyzing the data from both experimental class and control class, it was found that the maximum scores of student motivation score in experimental class was 128, and the minimum score was 82. The mean score was 109.11. The standard deviation was 14.65 and the variance was 214.69, while the maximum scores of student motivation in control class was 121 and the minimum scores was 82. The mean scores was 105.44. The standard deviation was 12.28 and the variance was 150.97. Based on this analysis, it was found that the mean score of student motivation in experimental class was higher than the mean scores of student motivation in control class. And then we move to the independent sample t-test to test the hypothesis. Based on the data above, we can see that the significant two-tail is 0.422. It is found that significant two-tail is higher than significant alpha 0.05. So it means that null hypothesis was accepted and consequently alternative hypothesis was rejected. It means that there is no significant difference on student motivation who taught by using Padlet and Jamboard. The fact above indicated that there is no significant difference between the two applications. Both of them are equally in increasing student motivation. It can be accepted because there were some common features and functions between Padlet and Jamboard. Most of students were engaged by the features on both applications in doing collaborative learning. Students and teachers can contribute to the work anywhere and anytime. This condition is similar to Martin 2019, who stated that Padlet is an effective media in which students learn both through instruction from the teacher and from instruction with each other. Collaborative learning may help students to retain information and increase their motivation. In addition, infusing both applications into classroom activities engage students to the authentic learning environment where the students are responsible to finish their tasks on their own gadget. So every student should take participation in doing collaboration learning that make them aware on their process in learning. Now we move to the conclusion. So the motivation of a student is considered one of the major factors that determine student learning process. Either Padlet or Jamboard can help students become more motivated. Padlet and Jamboard provides more features for students to develop their creativity, provides warm-up to whole class discussion, provides a proper procedure that improves student motivation in learning. Consequently, it is suggested for the teacher to use them interchangeably or may choose freely one of them, which is appropriate to some consideration such as language skill or the content being delivered and the teaching learning English. Well, that's my presentation. Thank you.